The men's world title is on the line when Hangman Adam Page defends against MJF, who now does not have to use the contract and can change hands on a disqualification. There are no countouts, right?
Right. Yeah, so he can
Why wouldn't
win.
you just say no DQ?
Well, no, he's saying the championship can change hands on a disqualification.
So Hangman can't get himself DQ'd.
Right. Because if
Okay.
he does, then he loses the championship.
Yeah.
And then he also doesn't have to use the contract.
Yep. Is there more to follow on this? Do we get more wrinkles in this?
I don't think so. I don't think so. Here's where, okay, so let's talk about this. Do you think
they just called this because they didn't like what they did last week, or was this the plan the whole time?
I think it was just a MJF got outsmarted. Well, now he has time. He outsmarts, because of the two, Hangman is supposed to be the more emotional of the two, right? So it would make sense that going into it, the one to last lose their cool would be Hangman. Let's talk a little bit about this segment from last night, though. So we see early on in the show, Mark Briscoe just yell, MJF, I'm coming for you, motherfucker, right? Okay. And then MJF approaches Ricochet and GOA, and he's like, hey, you don't like Mark Briscoe? I don't like Mark Briscoe. Why don't we go beat up Mark Briscoe? And Ricochet's like, usually I don't like you, but I definitely hate him. So deal. Hangman then later in the night comes out, cuts a promo, says MJF's not coming out because he's a coward. Tony Schiavone's like, hey, they got a camera. They're wanting to talk to you. Sorry, I have no idea what's going on. And we get backstage, Mark Briscoe unconscious, tied up. Ricochet and GOA are just kind of giggling about it. And MJF says, I want you to agree to 3 things, and then starts pouring lighter fluid on him. He says, or I burn the fuck out of Mark Briscoe. Now I said this to you via text that does no one else like Mark Briscoe?
Yeah, nobody wanted to help Mark Briscoe in the conglomeration hanging around.
Yeah, where's Hologram or Kyle Fletcher?
ROH friends. Yeah. Nobody wants to go save Mark Briscoe. Well, and I saw somebody else bring up the point that Mark Briscoe's probably going to be upset that he fell for this because Mark Briscoe's definitely been set on fire before. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, maybe. Yeah. Yeah. He's like, that's my brother did that to me all the time. All the time.
Yeah.
Now,
brother, ain't no worse than falling in the chicken shit pile.
Now let's fast forward. Let me play a little bit devil's advocate. As you mentioned, Mark Briscoe might be upset with Hangman. And so he said, I thought you respected me. How did you let me get in this situation? Fuck you, Hangman. Yeah?
Could we see Mark Briscoe get manipulated by MJF somehow?
That's what I'm saying. They're like, well, I guess he did make a good point. And then,
so let me tell you the heat that would emanate from MJF winning this title over Hangman so quickly after the Hangman victory would be palpable, but you got to be ready to use it in some way, right? You can't just let it peter out by MJF being MJF for the next 5 months, right? Wrestling in all comers, right? There has to be something that comes out of that.
I agree. Also, though, how could MJF get a bigger reaction for the rest of his career, for the foreseeable career, right? He took Mystico's mask off, and we were just like, yep, that happens. Yeah. We were fine with it.
But yeah, if we want to hate MJF again.
We want to hate that guy.
Fucking putting a bullet in the back of Seabiscuit's head.
Mm-hmm. Because also, what does he do? Now, I know you'd mentioned Bobby Lashley, Hurt Syndicate. We still got that kind of in our back pocket. But what does he do after this? He loses and then cool?
Yeah, but same thing with do we keep running back Hangman MJF for a while? Because Hangman's not just gonna let the loss go by, but he could disappear for a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So what are you picking?
Man, Adam Page. Hangman's winning this.
I think Hangman's winning, and I think Hangman's winning because they told us that MJF doesn't have to use his contract. So he loses and then says, Toronto, whatever, lights out, right? The biggest stipulation I could think of. I will cash in that contract round 3, I guess, because they would be 1-1 at this
They
point.
might even try to stretch this to all in, for fuck's sake, man.
Yeah,
You know
who
what I mean?
knows? But that's what I would think. So going Hangman, you're going Hangman.
Yeah.
AI thinks MJF wins.
Ooh, man.
They say that he wins with a low blow and then pins Hangman. There you go.
Now, could Ricochet and GOA help because they're mad at Hangman for how they treated old boy Ricochet at the end there?
Yeah, I mean,
It'd be great if they could bring that security guard with him too and let him. That
Yeah.
guy took a straight up punch to the face. I mean, he tried to pull it at the end there, but I don't think he did so successfully.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully
Got
he
him
got
good.
a dinner bought for him that
Yeah.
night because
Got
that was
2
a
hot
real
dogs
punch.
and a handshake.
Yeah. 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 And so this is what they say. They said, despite Adam Page only winning the gold recently, AI thinks that Hangman should go back on the chase, suffering a loss to MJF before winning it back down the line again. I don't like that. I I don't, because we've talked about this
We
before.
did it. We did the turn. Hangman's a different man right now. We don't need to go back and then come
You're
back
right.
again.
And also, we've talked about this like with, because you had mentioned last week on the show, but, someone was like, Ric Flair is a 16-time world champion. It's like, you lost that belt 17 times? Like, that's not impressive,
Yeah,
And so
exactly.
I don't want Hangman to be a 3-time, 4-time, 5-time in within 6 months. He's not The Rock in 2000. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I want him to keep the championship.